Hi, it's Shola here, and in this video I have a question for you, which is, are you prepared to act it out? Now, I didn't say are you prepared to act up and be difficult, but are you prepared to act it out? Because an act out is a specific tool that we can use in public speaking to add a bit of drama and a bit of life to our presentations. So I'm going to share with you the act out in just a moment. But first, let me introduce myself, because I'm Shola Kaye. I'm a public speaking coach and a professional international speaker based in London. And you are either watching my video blog or you're listening to my podcast. But either way, I welcome you. A few months ago, I was honoured to be asked to be one of the judges at the UK Inter-University Public Speaking Contest. And on that day, I got to watch 24 speeches back to back. Now imagine watching that many speeches in a single day. For sure, you can learn a lot and see a lot of patterns. And while I was judging the contest, I was also making a few notes of things to share with my audience because they struck me as being quite interesting and also some good learning points. And one of them is this, which is around the act out. Now, acting out is all about gestures. It's all about reenacting a scene from your presentation. Why would we include act outs when we present? Well, a number of reasons, but first of all, it adds a bit of drama. It ups the ante, so it's more engaging for the audience. Secondly, you might find that it brings a point home more strongly if you act it out rather than describe it. And thirdly, I think it's good fun to do it, and it can cause a few laughs, or it can also make people understand the drama and the implications of a situation much better when they see you act it out on stage rather than, again, you describing it. On that particular day when I was up there at Warwick University watching all these students with their presentations, what struck me the most, and I shared this with other judges and we talked about it and they saw the same thing, was that most of the people doing the act outs were the guys and the women were much less inclined to act out. Let me give you an example. The very first presentation of the day was a guy who was talking about, I think it was something to do with interpersonal relationships. And during his presentation, he acted out an argument where he got offended by something somebody said, and he blew up, got angry, and acted out sort of flouncing out of the room. And what he did, we were in a lecture theatre with stairs going up, sort of typical lecture theatre with the sort of presentation area. I've got my hands below the camera. Typical lecture theatre with the presentation area, which was at, say, ground level, and then you had seating, which was at an angle going up, and then you had the doors, the exits at the top of the room. So this guy, he was pretending to be angry and really mad, and he said, right, that's enough, I don't want to hear any more. And he flounced out of the room, walked up the stairs, boom, 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 banged the door behind him, waited outside for a few seconds, and then eventually he came back in. Now, of course, all of us in the audience were like, what's going on? This is exciting. What's happening next? And when he came back in, we were laughing and, wow. It had an incredible effect upon us, to the extent where months later, I'm here sharing with you. I can't remember what he was talking about, but I certainly remember what he did on stage. And throughout the course of the day, we saw that people were acting out, but it was more the guys that were acting out than the women. So I'm not trying to make any pronouncements there. That was a very small sample size, 25 people, 24 speeches. So I'm not trying to say that women don't act out. But if it's something you're thinking of doing, certainly, whether you're a guy, a girl, whatever, go for it. Because it really does add some impact and some adds a bit of to your presentation, if it makes sense to do it. Let's talk about the act out a little bit more. So when do you decide whether or not you want to act something out? Well, typically not when you're in the middle of the presentation. Ideally, you give yourself some time, you're well prepared, you go through your presentation and you think, well, where can I do an act out? Oh, I could do one here. There's a conversation between me and so. Let's put one in here. Or, this moment here is a very dramatic moment. I'll add an act out at this stage. So acting out also forces you to analyse your presentation, your speech a little bit more deeply, so that you can choose the right moments. So it has multiple benefits for both you as a speaker and for your audience, and of course for your message, which is driven home a bit further and a bit harder by you adding this extra energy and this kind of extra underlining of this particular point by acting it out. Let me give you another example. When I give presentations, in particular when I speak in the corporate world, I will tend to share my background as a speaker and how I came to speaking. And one of the stories I typically tell is of the day that I got fired, or however you want to refer to it, the day that my contract wasn't renewed at a job that I was in at the time. And I act out the moment that I learned this bad news. And I share that I was in the boardroom at the company I was working at the time. I was summoned in, asked to sit down on this black leather sofa, and then I act out what happened in that conversation. And typically that act out will elicit, sometimes it's sympathy from the audience, sometimes it's a few laughs, and I don't mind, I wouldn't share it if I wasn't prepared to be laughed at, But it diffuses a lot of tension in the room, where people are thinking, well, who's she? What's going on? What's the nature of this talk? What's the energy going to be like? And then when I'm there doing this little act out, people see, oh, she doesn't take herself too seriously. We're going to have a bit of fun here. So it serves several purposes. I want you to think about when and where you can act out in your next presentation. Take some time, go through it, think about what you could act out. What are the implications for you, for the audience? Why would you do it? What are the feelings you want to display around the act out? Could be a conversation. It could be a reaction. There's various things that you could act out. But go for it, because your audience will thank you for it. You'll be injecting life. You'll be injecting some more energy and emotion. And I've never seen an act out that, as long as you rehearse it a little bit, I've never seen an act out that is not well received. Let me give you another example. There was at this contest, there was a guy who was talking about charitable giving, and he did an act out of somebody on the street who was begging for money. And it was extremely powerful. It got everybody silent. We all leaned in because we were really interested. It really drove home the point that he was trying to make. So if you're trying to drive home a point to your audience, why not select the act out as a tool to make that happen? So that's it from me. But next time you're ready to speak and you've got your presentation all planned out, I want you to take an extra moment, go through it, and think about where you can inject an act out. Because it's good for you, it's good for your message, and it's good for your audience. So that's it from me today. And I hope that you enjoyed this short video. If you did, then why not join me for my next live online event? Because wherever you are, you can join me for this, because it's done online. So you can be at your computer, I can be at mine, and we can still share a bit of time together. If you go to sholakaye.com/live-event, then you'll see the details of the next event there. If there isn't one planned, it may share with you instead my masterclass that I also have that's free and on demand, so you can watch that instead. But it would be fantastic to get onto a live event with you, because that's what I really love, being with people in real time and sharing tips and tricks with them. So I hope to see you on a live event, or if not that, please do tune in to my next video or to my next podcast. And remember to don't act up, act out. Take care. Bye.